everybody, to another edition of Personal Training Unlocked with Matt Mangol. My name's Josh Shernoff. I'm just along for the ride with the one and only Matt Mangol. What's up, man?
Hey, it's great to be here, Josh. It's always good to be talking to you, and we got a pretty important episode today. It's pretty, I wouldn't say groundbreaking or earth-shattering, but you know what? Moist.
Yep.
We have a moist episode because we're talking about hydration.
Yeah, I just had myself
my hydration, our hydration, and how important it is to our body and its functioning or dysfunction.
Feels so good. So good just to have a drink, especially out of this nice MyFandom.com.
Where's that available? Is that available anywhere yet, or is that
no?
Prototype?
It is a Contigo
metal
gimmick here.
That
I put a sticker on.
Hey, co-branding, it's fine.
Yeah, that's it. No, but it, man, drinking water, so important. Staying hydrated, man, it is
very, very important. I mean, our body, for the most part, 65, 70, 72%, somewhere in there as far as water, right? So our earth is like that, and our body is like that. And, if we didn't have water on earth, I would say that would not be a good thing.
No,
right?
We wouldn't exist.
No.
I think not to get all scientific or anything.
Water, you could go, like there are people that the fasting we'll get into in another episode. Okay. Mm-hmm. But you can go periods of time without food.
Yeah.
But very few days without water. Very important. We overlook it a lot until we have to pay attention to it. Situations where, oh, hey, look, we're going to go play football today. We're practicing for our season. Let's do 1 a.m. and really exert everybody and pound them out. And then we'll also do another one in the afternoon. And, you don't need to drink a lot of water. No, that's how they used to do things back in the day. Just suck it up, Buttercup. Just push through. Here's some salt tablets. And then dehydration, cramps, passing out, worse. Right. Hydration is the key to everything, movement, functionality, and your body systems working optimally. So we can talk about that in general.
I remember one summer of a lifetime, 2002. I was working at a camp. It was so hot there. And for whatever reason, I just never brought more than like a small little bottle of water. That was gone within minutes. And you'd think after, the next, like the second day or the third day, the 10th day or the 30th day, you'd think that I would have learned my lesson. But I was a kid. I was just a young chap. And, but I will tell you, that summer, I was miserable. And a lot of my thought process is, well, it was the heat. Well, it was bad management of the camp. Well, it was the kids were annoying here or there or whatever. But as I got older, I looked at it and I thought, well, I was probably kind of miserable because I felt terrible because I was dehydrated. I was drinking nothing all day long out in the heat. I was just, 2002, man, wasn't eating great. That's for sure. So I think, I think all of that combined probably did something. But also, man, now like I get a good workout in, I just can't wait to get some. I always have a jug of water with me when I'm working out, and it's important. So talk to everybody, Matt, about why, not why. I think everyone gets it. I think everyone gets the concept of why you need water, right? But explain to people how important it is to your fitness and just your life in general.
All right. So myself, I'm myself, you're yourself, and they are their selves, whatever that means. But the thing is, I do, and it's not gospel, it's in my experience, I've been dehydrated many times. Okay. I make it a point these days while I'm making coffee, which yes, uses water, but the way it is different. I'll drink a glass of water. I find that for myself, if I don't have either a glass of water or a glass of water with some electrolytes, something to start the day. Electrolytes we'll kind of get into in a little bit, but more so deeper next episode. However, if I don't get that in and I'm 2 or 3 cups of coffee in, at some point I'll start to feel a little tired in the morning, maybe get a headache. I'm behind. Because when you look, here's the thing: when you wake up, you're already dehydrated.
Sure.
So the thing is, you need to start the day with that fuel to kind of just get everything going. When you're dehydrated, many things go on, but one of the things is your blood gets a little bit more acidic and more viscous, right? Meaning thicker. And what happens is your body and the heart and everything has to pump a little harder, which here and there, not a big deal. But if you're dehydrated, then going and playing sports and there's a bigger demand on the heart, blood pressure can rise, things can go on. You can have cognitive issues, dizziness, fainting, whatever. Your body, your joints need to be lubricated. Your muscles need to have the water's kind of like the oil. You would only drive so far pushing the oil in your car before your car starts smoking, bone dry, and makes you stop. You don't want to have that happen with your body or your organs. You have to have a good hydration level so that you are just kind of working systematically, just functioning the way everything's supposed to. Muscles getting hydrated, joints getting lubricated, like we talked about. Blood having a certain water level in there so that it's moving smoothly. Blood pressure is regulated. Thermoregulation, right? Your body's way of sweating and trying to cool the body off. It's getting rid of carbon dioxide and sodium and so on through the skin. Sure. Is a way of cooling the body off. So if you're dehydrated, that system's askew, you're going to have troubles with thermoregulation. So that means just kind of your body's temperature, right? So it's an easy thing to try to pay attention. You don't have to get crazy about it. But the idea is if you start the day with a glass of water throughout the day, if you're doing other drinks, fine. But, try to make sure you have a couple glasses in the morning, a couple glasses in the afternoon, and have a little bit at some point in the nighttime before you go to bed. Obviously, you get to be our age. You have too much.
You're not sleeping.
We have kids anyway. You're not sleeping through the night anyway. So whatever.
So let me ask you though. Let me ask you. First of all, we know something that we should share is that women do not actually need to drink as much water a day as men, which is kind of an interesting fact that I curiously was just looking at yesterday. I don't remember exactly what it is, but I would say men is like just shy of a gallon of water. It's maybe, what is it? Like 3 point something liters. We'll have to look that up.
It's usually in metric because, we're the only country that doesn't do metric.
But then, women is like 2 points, whatever the case is. But what I'm curious about is your opinion on this. Why is it so difficult to get ourselves to drink water, right? You're talking about something that only makes you feel better when you're drinking it. It's right. Right? Like, I mean, instantly, if you're drinking water, you're refreshed. Why is it so tough? Because it is. It is so tough.
I think we're used to drinking it, right? And the thing I think is that we get so programmed for flavor, right? Some of that's, just growing up with the sugary cereals and having this and having that throughout the day, a snack that has some sugar, some sweetness, some flavor, some natural flavorings, whatever it might be. But we're used to having a flavor. Now, water does have a flavor, but it's not exactly the same. I think sometimes, not that people get the gag reflex after a certain period of just regular water, it's not as palatable as something else. So then they go to a juice or something else. Now, look, you can hide, like drinking something's better than nothing, but going for something that's lower in sugar, more pure ingredients, less ingredients, the better. Go for a seltzer water, right? Go for something else. Just keep something flowing in there. The biggest thing is you don't want big chunks of time of not having it because once you're thirsty, you've been dehydrated, right? So it's tricky to stay ahead of it. You can also monitor in other ways. Obviously, the color of, your urine and so on and so forth can tell you where you might be as far as your hydration. Obviously, if it looks like something that came out of a UPS truck, color-wise, Josh, that's not good.
No, that's.
I don't know. That's just a quick analogy.
I just want to know what's going on inside that UPS truck that it's leaking that type of.
That is to me. But and then even if you have it's clear, that's not always the best. It might be overhydrated. So usually it's like you want to be a little yellow, a little clear, whatever. You want to be able to see through it. Biggest thing is you feel better, right? When your body's acidic, which is what happens when one of the things that causes that is lack of hydration. In an environment that's acidic, in an environment that has less oxygen, that's the breeding ground for many things they're finding. One of these guys, biohackers, Gary Brecka, David Asprey, these different people out there, I mentioned this. They've been doing studies on this in Europe. Obviously, it's a little later getting over to us. We really have to sift through the internet to find it because we have big pharma here. That's another story. But the thing is, you need to have an environment that's a little more alkaline, less acidic, um, and then something that that environment, your body, you feel better. Like when you feel better on those days when you're hydrated, that's what's going on in your body. So the thing is, providing an environment for progress and for functionality and for efficiency versus constantly fighting against that, already being dehydrated, feeling like you're sluggish or lethargic, and things like that can be tough. No head,
So
and then you also don't get headaches, right? So,
I
yeah.
did a little quick research here, threw it in the Google machine,
Uh,
as they say.
quick research.
And yes, according to the U.S. National Academies of Sciences, Engineering, and Medicine, they have determined that an adequate daily fluid intake is about 15 and a half cups or 3.7 liters of fluid a day for men, about 11 and a half cups, 2.7 liters of fluid a day for women. So, I mean,
I have
that
a feeling.
sounds
Yeah, I have a
sounds
feeling
like a lot.
anatomically, women, just the way things are for childbirth and things like that, maybe even hormonally, they probably retain more water.
That might be the case. I
Women tend to be so much more efficient than guys.
well, yeah,
Maybe it's just
across
me.
the board, but
It's in the
um,
hardware we can do about it, but it's just something to note.
so
Anyway,
I think it's important that people understand also when to drink this,
sure.
right? Because okay, so for men, let's say, right, 15 and a half cups of water,
Well, it sounds like
3.7
yeah.
liters. Um, I'll give you,
Mm,
for instance, when I go to the gym
yeah.
and I sit in the sauna afterwards, right?
Yeah.
I could drink, dude. I could drink a probably a gallon of water just sitting in the sauna if I'm in there long enough, right? I could just, but I can't just have my entirety of water for the day all at once. Correct?
No, right. So you could mark off the water bottle or get a water bottle that has those markings on them as far as
Mm-hmm.
and maybe have it in front of you at the desk, right? Biggest thing is have it visible, whether it's behind your computer, off to the side, somewhere in your vantage point where you see it and it reminds you. Worst thing you can do is kind of section yourself off in like a little closet area, knock out all these emails. 4 hours later, you realize you're thirsty as heck, you
Yep.
feel like crap, and you have no water around you. So put it near you. Okay. Set a, you can do anything with your phone. Set an alarm. Have Alexa set 1,000 alarms. Do some different, you know how you operate. One other trick is take some sticky notes, put them across the top of the screen or somewhere where it's not going to block your camera. And when you drink, you take one down. Right. So that seems to be something that since COVID, people have been doing since the Zoom and the more virtual type things that are going on with corporate America. Put eight sticky notes, for a cup, whatever, and just take them down.
Massive waste of sticky notes. But
But look, hey,
hey, reuse them. You're just
the
pulling them down, put them back
necessary,
up at the end of the day.
fold the other ends that aren't sticky and make like a paper airplane or use some origami and chuck them around the room. It's fine.
Yeah, there you go.
But you're helping yourself.
Activities.
So I think it's a win-win. Captain Planet would be okay.
Yeah. So, but I guess the question is okay, so let's say we're looking at 15 and a half cups,
Right.
3.7 liters. That's just your general average person. Now, what about somebody who's going to the gym for an hour,
Well, I
hour
think
and a
I
half?
I think as people get into athletics and where you're exerting, whether you're a runner, whatever it is, you will drink enough probably. You know what I mean? Your body will make you. You'll want to and you'll
But it
need
should be
to.
expected that you're drinking more than 50. Listen, if you hit
Yeah,
15 and a half cups
right.
of water, even on a day you worked out, you're probably doing better than 90% of
Yeah.
people out
Well,
there.
and here's the thing
So,
too. Here's the thing too. Um, you probably retain more water versus what your body absorbs versus what goes out from things you take in other than liquids, right? So, for
sure.
instance, cucumbers. That's why people put cucumbers in water. One of the reasons. Cucumbers, watermelon, any kind of melon, any kind of fruit, right? But vegetables, zucchinis, things that hold water in them. When you take them in, that water that's in there, even if it's a little bit, is more concentrated and more absorbed readily by the body. Whereas if you're just drinking pure water, it kind of can go through you. It does what it needs to do, but you're not guaranteed that all of it's going to be absorbed. So eating things that have water in them is also important. So that also helps break up the monotony, and you're probably going to have more water than you thought. As long as you're eating healthy
But is
diet.
that the thing too of why you want to split it up when you're doing it too? Because if you just pound a bunch of water, you're gonna end up you're gonna
Yeah.
piss that out,
No,
and
yeah.
and
So
before your body's been able to absorb it, before your body's been able to utilize it, right? Same as
right.
why you can't go and hey, okay, I need 120 grams of protein today, so here my first meal is gonna have 75 grams of protein. Your body's not gonna absorb all of that
Well,
protein.
I had a story about a client who took in 120 grams of fiber in one evening. We can talk about that now or another time if you want.
No, let's
Uh,
share it. Let's talk about
well,
it.
okay, well, let's
I think I know this
uh,
one. Was this the bars? Was this the obsession with
yeah,
the bars?
yeah. Person has addictive personality, and like most addictive personalities, it's always there. You just have to transfer it from something bad to something good. So working out, exercise, sometimes nutrition, sometimes it's over the top, but that's better than the other, like drugs, alcohol. So all right, buys a Quest bars. Love them, but you got to drink water with them and be very careful because there's a lot of fiber, 14 grams per bar. Like this flavor, loved it. Bought
Was it
Costco.
cookie dough?
Yes,
That's my. I
and
mean,
it's the
that's my
go-to.
go-to. That's my
Oreo,
go-to.
Oreo is my jam as well. But here,
Pumpkin
the
pie is a special one that's out. My wife got.
pie,
What's that?
pie. So
My wife
the
got a man. That's a deep cut that nobody's getting except for Biz, who might be watching. But hey Biz, but the what was I gonna say? Oh, the pumpkin pie one was my wife
okay.
got angry at me for eating it. That was what I was gonna say. It was unimportant to interrupt you. So continue.
Be careful. So then what we have with the situation is, long story, I'll just cut to the chase here, like it's a Hollywood movie. We're working out legs 5 o'clock in the morning. It's me and him. And comes in and he liked this one bar, put it out in the trunk of the car because he knew if it was in the kitchen, he'd eat a lot of them. That way he'd have to go out to the car, open the trunk way. Long story short, destroy the entire box, had 7.
Oh God.
So it comes in kind of, staggered, walking a la like a pirate, right? You go, yeah, what's going on? Nothing, just had seven bars. I said, what's that? I had 7 bars. You had 7 bars yesterday? Well, technically, this morning. So, between the hours of 2 and 3. I said, so you ate 7 bars and you're already dehydrated. So we were due to work legs and this and that, and it was a bit of an issue until 20 minutes later when it wasn't a bit of an issue. So you got to pace yourself and spread things out.
You ever see there's a movie, I can't remember what it's called, I'll have to look it up, but Paul Walter Hauser and Vince Vaughn. I think I sent you a clip from this. And I ended up watching.
Yeah. The white whale that says beach at yes.
Yep.
The
I
sounds like an outhouse at a carnival. Yes.
Something's gonna I'm gonna
it's poor bowel management.
I'm gonna crap my pants, but it's okay.
It's
he goes, no, it's not okay. It's not okay.
It's queen
queen pins. Queen pins. Yeah. So it was a funny movie. It was funny, but that scene itself just
that's good stuff. Go check that out.
Yeah, check that out.
Very popular these days. But that's on the extreme of what not to do. So anyway, stay within the boundaries. Don't go extreme on either direction. And if you need some assistance, as always, you can reach out to ptunlocked@gmail.com, email myself, and I'll be more than happy to get back to you. And we'll figure things out, help you figure out a scheme that works in your world. So,
yeah, I mean, I think asking these questions, I think just bringing it up and putting it into somebody's head. And that's really some of these episodes that are a little short form as I plug my my monitor in here. There we go, so it doesn't die. Some of these more short form episodes are a great way for us to just kind of be like, hey man, make sure you're drinking, make sure you're drinking your water, get you thinking about it. But as Matt said, when you then have, inevitably, you're going to have questions. I try to ask Matt some questions about things, but inevitably, you're going to have questions. When that time comes, that's when you got to go ptunlocked@gmail.com or at ptunlocked on social media and
Right.
ask Matt. You got to ask him those questions.
Look for your concierge, fitness trainer, strength and conditioning specialist, degreed in the field, 23 years experience at this point. I'm here. I'm just trying to reach other people, help out. Only way I can do it is if you reach out to me and drop me some questions. So this is, unprecedented access. We don't have AI filters. That's a discussion for another episode. It's real people. I got 4 kids. It feels like I have 18 sometimes. Josh has 3. It feels like he has 18 sometimes. We find a way to do what we can when we can to take care of ourselves as best we can because we have to. Other people rely on us. But you need to rely on yourself. Yes, but let us help you rely on yourself by helping and being there to aid as needed. So reach out, ptunlocked@gmail.com. We're here for you.
Yep. I won't answer, but Matt will.
Well, yeah, you're a bum.
Nope. Nobody wants my opinions on any of these things.
You're a crumb bum.
I will tell you, I mentioned Paul Walter Hauser.
Yes.
He's actually going to be a guest on, for any of you wrestling fans out there, Eric Bischoff's podcast. And fun fact about, I think today as we record this, and a fun fact about that is Eric Bischoff this week is a guest on my other show, The Wrestling Hour. And Eric is a guy that we want to have on here at some point and chat about.
Oh, definitely. That'd be great.
He's had some interesting experiences with his carnivore diet, things like that. He's definitely, he mentioned something in the interview that we did for the Wrestling Hour that got me thinking when he said he feels better, he looks better.
Hey.
He was explaining, his age and saying his age is not the reason why he doesn't want to do a specific thing. It's, because he's in better shape than he's ever been in. And I think that's really cool for a guy in his 60s, to be able to say that. And that's kind of the goal, I think, for all of us is by the time we get to our 60s, or if you're in your 60s, man, by the time you get to your 80s, like, let's just always be able to look back and go, there's some things you can never fix, right? Can't turn back the hands of time, but
no,
there are ways to look back and go, yeah, look, I might look in the mirror and see a guy in his 40s, not a guy in his 20s, but damn, I look better than I did in my 20s. I feel better than I did in my 20s. That's all achievable. So that's kind of what we're here to do.
Just got to put one foot in front of the other. Start with the first step.
Yep. Cool, man. Well, hey, listen, I think what we're going to do at this point is throw it on over to a guest.
Sounds great.
We've got a guest for our show today that we're very excited about. Matt, you want to tell everybody a little bit about our good friend Kyle, who's going to be joining us in just a moment?
We are going to be graced with the presence of Kyle Lozinski, the CEO, owner, and operator of the Magnetic Bag Company, also known as the Bag Guy. Now, what he came up with is one of those things you see and you go, son of a bitch. That's a great idea. I should have come up with. The man's a mechanical engineer, and the man figured out something that's going to solve a lot of gym problems. And he is here with us today.
Kyle Lozinski, thank you so much for joining us here on Personal Training Unlocked.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So Matt was just telling us a second ago a little bit about how you've got a creation here that is going to solve so many problems. When you're doing something, when you're creating a business or a product, right? They always say the key is finding what is the problem, what is the pain point that you're going to fix for people. And sometimes it's a pain point that some people don't even realize they have.
Right.
When seeing what you have with this bag that I want you to tell us all about, I instantly looked at that and said, "Oh my God, I need this." Like this is which is obviously, I'm sure for you, exactly what you want to hear. But so tell us a little bit about. First, tell us what this product is.
Yeah, so I could tell you a little bit about the problem that I see and that I've had in the gym. every time I go to the gym, I go in with my essential items like phone, keys, wallet, headphones, and water bottle. And that's what I've always done. I've been working out for over a decade, and that was like my motto. I don't want no duffel bag, backpack. I just want my essentials going in. And most of them you have to keep with you, like your car keys. You have to keep with you, right?
Sure.
You're not going to leave them in your car. Um, other essentials like your water bottle. You want to go in training with water, hydration. And I would go in and I would just put them on the floor, the dirty gym floor, and not really think anything of it. But it was always a hassle. Like every time I go in, it was like, I would put my headphones in, and then I would just drop everything on the floor, and then I would start working out, and then I would pick everything up, and then move it to the next machine or whatever bench press, and then just keep repeating it. And then one day it just hit me. I'm like, you know what? I should probably get like a small bag. I didn't want a backpack, which some people have. Like they have the drawstrings or they have the
Sure.
big backpacks. And most people who have the big backpacks don't even have anything in it. They just have those small items and they're just carrying around this big backpack. And I was like, maybe I should get a small bag to put my stuff in. And I kind of looked around and realized like even people with the small bag, you still have to put it on the dirty gym floor. And most people don't put their phone inside their bag because they want accessibility to it. They want it accessible. They pick it up, change the song, record, whatever. So they would just toss it either on the floor or on top of their bag. I was like, you know what? What if I integrate magnets within a bag and make it magnetic? Because everything in the gym is pretty much steel. And you could attach it to all the fitness equipment. I'll design it so it's compact, so it has your essentials. It'll have a stretch pocket on the front of it, so you could easily access your phone. So you don't, go and toss it on the floor. Even though you might buy the bag, you can still attach it to the equipment, and it's easier to slide it into the pouch instead of throwing it on the floor. So that's how I came up with the idea. That was in 2022. No, that was in 2020. I came up with the idea, and then I worked on the prototype. I don't know how far you want me to go along with
No,
that. I can
hey,
tell you
keep
the
going
whole
because my
story.
next question, I think,
Those next questions, yeah,
yeah, the
yeah.
next question was going to be how did you make this a reality? So yeah, let's go in.
Yeah,
So you have this idea. Matt had mentioned earlier your background as an engineer. So tell
yeah,
how did this come to be to make this? Because so many of us, man. I mean, who hasn't had an idea of just, oh
yeah,
man, there should be a whatever. Maybe it's a
yeah,
good idea, maybe it's not,
yeah.
but we all have that idea. Only a few really turn that into
Yeah,
reality. So
go through with it.
how did that happen?
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, it's not only trying to bring the idea to life, it's a lot of risk. I invested a lot of my money. I quit my job, so
Wow.
it's like it's a big risk to just start a business. But yeah, in 2019 I started I'm a mechanical engineer. I graduated from the University of Central Florida, and I worked at a defense contractor. The name, I can tell the name, it's L3 Harris Technologies.
Okay.
I started working there in 2019. It's similar to like Lockheed Martin, but we do more communication systems. And I was a design engineer there. So I've worked on some pretty cool things. I've worked on the F-35. I've worked on radios for astronauts. I've worked on satellites, GPS
Wow.
satellites, whole bunch of cool stuff. But,
All right. So a bag with a
I've
magnet was not as heavy a lift for
no,
you as it was.
that was
Right.
more
Okay.
simple than it was simpler than what I was working on. And I've worked on some really cool stuff, designed a bunch of cool stuff. And while I was there, I grew up playing ice hockey. I've always been into fitness. Um, I remember back, when I was like 13, 14, I couldn't wait to start working out. You're a young kid and you're like, I want to start
Yep.
working out, building muscle. Like I want to get the chicks. I want to have the muscles, you want to get in the gym. And I remember going to my community gym, like starting off, and like ever since I started, I've like always been dedicated. I say you can ask my family, my friends, like whether we're on vacation or whatever. Like I want to, like it's part of my lifestyle and routine, like going to the gym. And sometimes it annoys people. They're like, "Dude, come on, man, you don't have to go to the gym." It's like it's just part of, like you eat breakfast, I go to the gym. That's
Yep.
how it is. So that's like the fitness side of me. I still play ice hockey. I play twice a week, just men's league now. Didn't make it to the NHL or anything. Um, but yeah, so I graduated from the University of Central Florida, and then I started work at L3 Harris. And while I was there, I would go to work, and then I would go to the gym after, and then I actually lived an hour away. So when I the one day I went to the gym, I thought of the idea, and then like that night went home, ordered a bunch of stuff. I scrapped together the first prototype, and it's funny how like an idea comes to mind, and then like I did a little research, I ordered a little bit of stuff, and like it kind of just like fell together. Like it wasn't like it was kind of complicated, but it was like, with my engineering mindset, it didn't seem that like I got it and I was like, oh, like let me do this, and I borrowed my mom's sewing machine and scrapped together, sewed it together, and had the prototype, and I'm like, this is freaking awesome, like
Wow.
I got it. And making the prototype is sometimes the easiest part of a business, like if you look at like a car company, for example, you can make a prototype look sick. You see all these
Right.
prototypes of all these crazy cars, but they never come to full manufacturing scale, because that's what's hard is sourcing everything, getting everything perfect, hundreds of thousands of times over. So I had the prototype. I was like eager to get started. This was in 2020, and I kind of just started my job. I started in the middle of 2019, and um, the way I was raised and stuff, I didn't have to worry about, student loans or anything. So I'm very grateful the way that I was brought up. But it's also scary, like investing your money and like going all in. So I was like, I don't know if it's a good idea. And like, I would just use that prototype at the gym every single day, because I'm like, it's useful for me. And I kind of like slept on the idea. That's when I met my fiance around that time. So I was like, I'm out of school, I'm working, I have weekends free, I'm not studying for anything, I'm making money. So like I would come hang out with her, and then it kind of got put on the back burner. And then every few times I would go to the gym, there would be people that see it and they're like, what is that, where do I get that? I'll be like, oh, it's my business, I'm working on it, like we're launching soon. And then every time that happened, like it would spark me back up, like this is a good idea, I need to do this, and so in 2022, I was like, you know what, that was my idea, and I was working, a little over 3 years at the time. I was like, I don't really, see myself working 9 to 5 the rest of my life. I just, I would look around at these older guys, and like the culture and everything, the culture of 9 to 5. I'm like, I don't think this is for me. I think I could do, you know something better and something greater beyond just working for the man. um and just that day I was like, you know what, I'm doing it. Like I don't care, I don't want to look back and regret not going for it. Money's money, I can make more eventually. If I lose it, whatever, worst case, I just come back to work and save more money, and do the norm just like everyone else. And that day just hit me. I'm like, you know what? Like, what is the branding? What does the company look like? Like, what do I want to do? Do I want to make a cheap product and sell a bunch of them? Do I want to make a high end product that's quality? And I kind of looked at my values at the time, and I'm like, I really like quality products. Like you look at brands like Yeti. Like you think Yeti, they're good products, amazing customer service. They have good warranty on their products. I'm like, I want to be like them. I don't want to be a lower end. And that's where like people, come in with knockoffs. It's easy to make low end products. And I'm like, I want a product that I want. And I kind of built it for me. I'm like, I want a product that I want to use and it'll last a long time. And then at that point, I found a design team. Even though I'm a design engineer, I'm like, I don't know anything about designing a bag or fabrics or manufacturing or whatever. So I found a design team to help me. We went through the design process. They came up with some, 3 different sketches. We made changes here and there, and then we finally got it. And then I was able to learn from that process, and that's what helped me design the rest of the bag. The rest of the bags I did. I started with a small crossbody. And then I'm like, oh, I could do this. I know how to, I learned from their process. Um, but yeah, then finally got everything designed. And then in April of 2023, I launched the crossbody bag. I launched it on all social media, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. And that video hit nearly 1 million views within the first week. It was literally like a dream come true.
Wow.
Like, I'm getting goosebumps just saying that. Like, it was
Yeah.
unbelievable. Like, I posted it. The video, I think it's almost at 1 million views now. But at the time,
Wow.
like within the first week, I hit like 3,000 followers. And for a business, like, that's kind of like, influencers, they get followers like crazy. But like within like the first 2 days, I had like 3,000 followers. And like the first day, I think I got like $3,000 in sales. It was unbelievable.
Wow.
I was crying. I'm like, this is a dream come true. Like, I've worked on this, and like I invested so much money in it. The first order I ordered, $20,000 worth of product of my own money. I had the design team help me, which was thousands of dollars. So it was like I invested a lot of money in it, and it just hit perfectly. Like, it all lined up perfectly. Hit social media, and then ever since then, we've just been scaling, working on more and more products, and building our community and brand around it. So that's kind of like the background of how I got started.
What an incredible story. There's so much that I feel like people can take from that. The key thing is betting on yourself, right?
Yeah.
It is a scary look. We would all love to sit back and say, all right, somebody's gonna pay for this for us, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, you're talking, obviously my background in having my own businesses, launching businesses.
Mm-hmm.
Matt is currently sitting in his own gym. That is his, his own business. That 12 years, right, Matt? You launched 12
years,
12 years ago this week. So
roll dry, but great. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing it's like, I have so much respect for that. And
thank you.
as well.
I just wanted to ask Kyle. So first of all, welcome, dude. Congratulations.
Thank you.
For somebody who has, and this is smaller version here. That's an S load of keys.
Yeah, Matt's also a janitor in his spare time, apparently.
I want you to see this. Yeah, it's a side gig. So you see this? Do you see that? My son pointed it out. I go, son of a bitch. I didn't say that out loud because he's my son, but I don't even know what this key's for. Yeah. But this is one of the times I've dropped my shit and bent stuff. I've went through 2 phone screens. Mm-hmm. Nothing worse than doing squats. You're doing great set. You put the plate down, you put the racket, a plate falls off, goes behind you. And then later on, you realize you pick your phone up. What happened? Looks like a gunshot smashed.
There's $1,000 gone.
This Matt, if I can step on your toes, for 1 minute, this past summer, I was trying to get a workout in. Matt knows the story. I was trying to get a workout in super quick before heading to the airport to head out for WWE SummerSlam, which I was going to be covering for MyFandom, for the company that presents this podcast. And we use my phone, a little inside baseball. We use my phone for a lot of the video capture. It's just low light settings are better for stadiums or arenas and everything like that. Better than the fancy cameras and stuff, which now just kind of
phones are amazing.
Now they just sit here doing nothing. The fancy cameras because But I'm at the gym. I'm like, okay, let me get a quick workout in, and I'm doing preacher curls. And I'm working in the while doing that. So I'm texting back and forth, and then, okay, put the phone down. So I put the phone down on the bar for the preacher curl, not thinking that when I then go to curl up, that giant metal block came down and smashed my phone.
Dang.
I had to rush thankfully I got it fixed and everything like that.
Yeah.
Before I had to head to I'm sorry, I was driving. I wasn't heading to the airport. Otherwise I would have been screwed. I was driving. So that was okay. So that's what saved it. But that's one of the things that jumps out to me, and Matt talking about his keys right there, that jump out to me that's a literal example of if I had one of your bags.
Yeah, and both of you, right? Like
that bag would have been right there, would have attached to the side, would have had my phone text, would have thrown it into that front little pouch there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Matt, I'm sorry I interrupted you, but I just
I'm used to it. I have 9 toes left. That's fine.
you hit
So
a nerve there.
you're a genius. You're a man before your
I
time.
wouldn't say that, but
I ordered a bag.
oh,
It's
really?
yes. Because I can't wait to walk around like,
Which one did you get?
oh boy.
The small one or the water bottle bag?
The one that comes with the crossbody.
Okay.
Water bottle holder.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to using that and taking people up. But it's here, pandemic. When people come home, you're washing boxes of cereal.
Yeah.
You're taking your clothes off to the point of naked.
Yeah.
Room, running down the stairs to throw it in the laundry and then taking a shower before you then take the sanitized things. When we're going nuts, you're putting this phone down in a gym, right?
Yeah.
Where you don't want to swab a gym. I'm like Planet Fitness and things.
That's actually one of the videos I need to do is, my friend has a janitor business and I want to swab. I want to go in with like a freshly clean phone and then just go through the motions of 45 minute, an hour workout and then swab it after just to see how dirty it is. And hitting the same points that you guys are saying, unfortunately the fitness industry is like a little rough, like people who work out, like you could go on my social media, I get the craziest comments, like you wouldn't see these comments on beauty products or anything. It's, fitness people, like, I don't even want to say it on the podcast, but they comment crazy stuff like this is useless, what a waste of money, nice purse, blah, 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 all this stuff, and they don't see the value in it, which is fine. I see people who want to go in minimalistic, or they want to use a locker, or they want to use the duffel bag or whatever. I was just trying to create a solution to solve for 90% of the people that just go in, like not everyone's a bodybuilder. Not everyone's, 65 years old and doesn't want to be on their phone. You know what I mean? Like there's a demographic that we're hitting for the people that have minimalistic, just their essential items. They go in, and there isn't a solution to put your phone and your headphone case and your water bottle and keys. And the people that do comment, I just reply and say like, it's only a matter of time until something, you get sick, you crush your phone, and people don't realize that like your phone is almost your most important asset in your life, right? Like it's something you use every day. I mean, you could look at your screen time. What, you use it 6 to 8 hours a day? The second you crush that thing, you're going to be wishing that you bought a bag. So just going back to what you guys were saying, even you guys have had the experiences, but people who haven't, I hope it doesn't happen, but I've crushed the phone, and I've had plenty of friends who've crushed their phone before too. And that's only the minor point of it is, get your stuff off the dirty gym floor. It's gross. Don't crush your stuff. Keep everything together. It also helps, people steal stuff all the time. Keep your stuff with you. I don't want to put my stuff in the locker room. People go in and they steal stuff in the locker room. I don't have my eyes on my stuff. People leave their stuff in their car. You get robbed in your car. I want to keep my most important things with me at all times.
I mean, I've had times where I've
designed the bag around that.
I've had times where I've gotten out to my car, and I can't open my car because I realized I had my keys and I was doing cardio, put it, on the machine, and left it there. And right next to it, what's right next to it? My wallet, because I took that out of my pocket too and put it. And I've been lucky. I've done this like in my lifetime, probably like 2 or 3 times. And but I've been lucky each time that there it was. I went back and found it. Plenty of people are not that lucky. And the odds of me forgetting that are so much greater than the odds of me forgetting a bag that I probably have just attached to the side of the machine.
That is probably the number one comment we get is, I'm going to forget it. It's like, how are you, first of all, if you forget it, you have your headphones in, they're going to disconnect. Like,
once on your way out of the
car, right? And like, you're probably on your phone like every other minute. So I don't know how you're going to forget your most important thing, that you always have. And not to mention, how would you not forget your stuff that you put on the floor or hide under the bench or like balance on the, cable machine, people, but they just think
the people who have the way I look at it is the people who have the negative comments about it, are either jealous that they didn't come up with the idea.
Yeah.
angry that they don't have the means to create something like that.
Yeah.
Or they're just miserable people, in which case I
Or
look
they
at
don't
it and I
lift,
say,
they don't
right,
understand.
they don't lift, right? They don't
Yeah.
get the concept. Or these miserable people who I look at it and I go, you know what? Thank you. Because
Yeah.
the fact that you took the time to
Yeah.
comment on this has taught the algorithm that people are
Yeah.
engaging, because the
Yeah.
algorithms on social
Thanks for the
media,
boots.
they don't care if they're saying negative things or positive things. They want
Yeah.
engagement. If there's
Yeah.
engagement, that's gonna go right
Yeah.
up. So
Which is fine with me.
yeah.
They're boosting
Josh,
the post.
if I can hop on your kneecaps, Josh, for a second.
Please jump up. Welcome to the conversation, Matt.
Just do the old river dance all over your kneecaps for a second.
No.
So the haters, just putting it out there. Let me posit something here. Have your janitor friend also swab their keyboards. Okay. And the fact is, they're down in their mother's basement doing Warcraft on one screen and then hating on you. Look,
I don't think you want to.
You got a great product. Let them motivate you. Let it be fuel.
Yeah.
Anybody who takes the time, unless it's an actual issue, and types a paragraph, I'm sorry. But in the words of Chris Farley, you can hit him on the head with a tack hammer because they're a moron.
Yeah.
The hell with you. Do your thing.
Yeah. It's just crazy. It's just crazy to me because
on the bodybuilders on the steroids and all the foreign substances doing all this stuff just for the filters they put on their stuff. Just shut up. Stop it. Negative. Get out of it. But one question I wanted to ask you other than that, Josh, I'll get off your kneecaps in a second. I know the weight is crushing.
Please hang out.
Out of respect to your patellar tendon, Kyle, do you remember the exact date that you go, you know what? It's go time. Like the actual,
when I came up with the idea?
22, you go, you know what? It's November 17th. That's it. We're doing this thing. Do you remember the date?
I don't know the exact date, but I do. I actually have a chart here.
I'm just curious. Sometimes
September 28th is September 28th of 2020 is when I came up with the idea. October 5th is when I had the first prototype made that I scrapped together. I
love that you actually have this chart.
That's awesome.
Yeah, September 28th is my birthday, by the way.
That's
so
his birthday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Happy birthday on that.
Well, thank you. So that is I almost like to feel like I had something to do with this. But
28, dude. The 28, isn't that like I see that all the time. Like the number 28 is a lucky number or whatever.
It? Oh, great.
Something like that.
That's good to know.
They like do all this math. They're like, Kobe was like born on the 3rd and this, and if you add these three numbers together, it equals 28. Yep. See, that's a good number. But yeah, I have the whole out here. March 14th, 2022, the day before my birthday, came up with the logo. And I have like the whole schedule here. I launched in April. What is it? April 9th. Of 2023 is when I launched the pre-sales of it, and then it's all history from there. I have the whole thing.
What's your most popular item? How many bags exactly do you have at this point?
Yeah, so I'm launching a fanny pack bag here. I'm just waiting on the patent to get submitted and stuff, the design patent. And so I have the crossbody bag, which was the first bag, and then I have the water bottle bag, which was the second, and then I made different colors of those. So I have the black crossbody, I have the pink crossbody, and I have green, and then the bottle bag, I have black and green. Obviously, the most popular is black. Everyone wants the color black, even though they say they want pink. They order the black, But yeah, I mean, I've like I said, looking at other companies of higher end, you got to iterate on your products. I launched the crossbody bag and I've probably done like 5 iterations to it, change the fabric, change, the zipper puller layout, change the interior layout. I've changed the strap probably 3 times now, changed the material, the width, changing the hardware. I'm always upgrading it. I've changed the back fabric to make sure it grips harder. I've changed the magnets. I'm always like improving and upgrading, and the bottle bag and the crossbody bag that I have now, I think they're like dialed in. They're perfect. And then now I'm launching a fanny pack bag, which is It's going to be very unique. I'm launching that probably on the 1st, and it's gonna, instead of the stretch pocket, it's gonna have a unique attachment, so you don't have
Oh,
to slide your phone in the pocket. It's
oh
an
boy.
easy access grab,
Oh,
Interesting.
and that'll be launching that I've never really seen before. So I'm always working, and then I'm planning on launching a 64-ounce water bottle bag, which is pretty massive. But people keep asking, where's the
There's,
bottle bag? Where's the bottle? We want the
you know
big
what though?
one.
And that's
that's
awesome
for the
because
day almost, right? Yeah,
yeah,
it's half of
those
it.
are the people who are really lifting. Who you see with the giant jug that they're carrying around in the gym, and yeah, those people. It's funny. This episode before we brought you on, the main topic we were discussing was hydration,
Oh yeah.
and it's funny because that is such an important thing. And when you talk about a bag like this, it goes hand in hand with having some people be like, oh man, I don't want to carry a water
Yeah,
bottle around with me at the gym. I don't want to carry it around here. And it's like, because I don't want to put my water bottle down on the ground. I don't want to,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
which
love it.
what the water bottle idea, what went through my head was I want my essentials off the floor. I don't really care that much about my water bottle. And what was going through my head is water bottles are heavy, water's heavy. How am I gonna get strong enough magnets and keep the cost down to the point where, like, you're not paying $200 for a bag because the magnets are super
Right.
expensive. So I was like, I want to focus on my essentials. And then people kept commenting, "What about your water bottle? What about your water bottle?" I'm like, you know what? All right, let me figure this out. And then, just like I said, just going through the design process and ordering stuff and testing stuff out, it kind of just falls together. If you believe in the product and you work hard and you know use your brain to think about it and design it, it just fell into place. And I found the right magnets, and I modified them to make them custom magnets and change the layout. So once you get the bag, you'll see, like, you can't really tell that there's magnets in the bag. They're seamlessly integrated to the back, um, and they're super light, but they're still strong enough to hold 8 to 10 pounds of weight, which is way more than your iPhone keys, whatever. Um, but I spent a lot of time, and it just fell into place and iterating, and then I was like, you know what, I'm doing the water bottle bag, and then I was like, yep, that works. And then now I'm working on the 64 ounce, and I'm like, all right, that works. So I don't know, maybe a gallon in the future, but I think that'll be a little overkill.
The
Like,
gigantic,
imagine someone,
one of those car
yeah,
magnets that,
yeah,
comes down to
yeah.
pick up the car.
I could probably do it, and it'll just look ridiculous.
Yeah.
And, like, it could probably hold the weight, but if you imagine someone walking by and, like, hitting it and, like, it falling off, like, hit someone, like, it might get a little ridiculous. But the 64 ounce, I actually have the prototype, and it works amazing, and I've been using that. And the way the layout and I designed it, like, the strap is super comfortable, and I designed these products for the gym, and this is where I've kind of been lacking. They're amazing for everywhere. Some people buy them and they don't even use them in the gym. I had one guy, he ordered it and he uses it on his lawnmower.
Oh, there you go.
Was
That
on his
works.
lawnmower?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
uses it because there's no water
Yeah.
bottle cup holder on a
Oh,
lawnmower
wow.
for
That's
like
great.
a 46 ounce. Attaches to his lawnmower. I've people that, like, police officers, firefighters, they don't have room for a water bottle, so they attach it to their cage, or they attach it in the fire truck. So there's people
That's
using them
unbelievable.
outside the gym, and that's where I need to promote it for, like, the lifestyle. And I kind of, like, started saying this after I made the green bottle bag is, these bags aren't just built for the gym, they're built for the journey. You could use them outside the gym. They're built tough. The quality's amazing. They're going to last a long time, but they're built for your journey. Like, water bottle bag you can bring anywhere in outside the gym, whether you're traveling. I just went to Portugal. I used the bottle bag everywhere, especially traveling, walking around everywhere. It was amazing. And then along the way, there's different places where you could attach. We go to lunch and there's a metal pole. Boom, attach it right there. I don't got to put my stuff on the floor. So there's plenty of use cases outside the gym, and that's where I kind of want to start focusing on, like, built for the journey, built for everywhere. And a lot of customers order it and they say, like, I bought this for the gym, but I find myself using it, grocery shopping and wherever I go because it's just useful. It's still a bag. It's still
Yeah.
it's still a bag
Yeah.
that's very useful. So I'm gonna start marketing towards that, and then probably developing products for other industries outside the gym because there's definitely use cases for magnetic bags other than the gym, and my customer, even the lawnmower, right?
Yeah.
I'm developing a bag. The bags now work great, but for golfing too, you could attach it to the golf cart. You could put all your golf gear and stuff in it, your rangefinder. Because every time I go golfing, like I have my phone and I never know where to put my phone. And then I was like, oh, I'm gonna use my magnetic bag. I'm gonna attach it to the golf cart pole. Boom. I'm gonna keep all my stuff, my keys, everything,
Wow.
throw it in there, put a couple golf balls and my rangefinder. Boom, I'm set. So I'm still finding use cases, and then
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like, oh, this is
fantastic, right?
perfect for that. So
Yeah, and the fanny pack too. That when you have that, that's going to be great. Like parents going for
yeah,
taking kids in the
yeah,
stroller. Things are too small to put this or put that. Or you're wearing
yeah,
all the pants now are having pockets that are tighter, right? Or you're wearing like the golf
yeah.
pants and the keys are sticking out. And
Girls don't even have pockets.
Yeah.
well, no, your wife asks you to carry her stuff, and you
Oh
go,
yeah, all the time, man. Here, carry my wallet. You carry this, carry that. I'm like, yeah,
There's nothing wrong with that. That's fantastic. It's great.
yeah,
But yeah, awesome. That's dude.
yeah.
You're ahead of the game, man. You're doing awesome. That's tremendous.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. But
Great
thank you.
stuff.
Yeah. So tell us, so where for the people, we obviously this is a video version, but also audio. So the people who aren't
Yeah.
watching, because we'll throw some stuff up on the screen, of course, but the people who aren't watching, tell them where they can get these bags.
Yeah, I sell on Amazon on my website and on TikTok Shop. Everything's Magnetic Bag Company, so magneticbagcompany.com. You go to TikTok, Magnetic Bag Company, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and then Amazon, same thing, Magnetic Bag Company. Just look us up, and then you'll see our famous MB logo, and then
There it is.
we hope you support us. That's I try not to sell my product too much, especially when I go to the gym. Because if you look at all my content, I take videos of other people's stuff on the floor. Like I'm not staging anything. If you go to my Instagram, I don't stage anything.
Oh wow. Okay.
Like I just go in the gym and like I go into Crunch Fitness and there's stuff everywhere, like phone, keys, wallet, like some of the stuff I'm like, why do you even have this in here? Like some people just bring like the craziest stuff. They put they take the glass off, put it on the floor, and I'll just go up to people and just say like, hey, can I like awkwardly like, can I take a video of your stuff laying on the gym floor? And they're like, yeah, sure. And I'm like, oh well, and then I have to tell them about the product. I'm like, I try not to sell people on it, and then they're like, oh, that's cool, and then I'm like, all right, I want to take a
Sells
video.
itself.
So yeah, if you look at the social
itself.
media, all the videos, like one of the famous clips I have, not famous, but it's gotten over 1 million views, and I keep reusing it. I just went up to a girl in the gym, and I was like, hey, can I take a video of your stuff on the floor? And she's like, yeah, sure. I showed her the bag. And then I was like, you can keep working out. Like, go ahead, like, do your thing. I'm not going to get you in the video. And then she had her phone, and then she did the famous foot, like drop the phone, kick it with your foot. Like that's what I used to do back in the day. Like, you don't want to throw your phone on the floor, you want to kick it.
Yep.
And I was like, can you do that again? Exactly how you just did it, but can I video it? She's like, yeah, sure. And then I got it perfectly. And then that video is at like 1.5 million views because it's like people can relate. Like that's like the thing. And that's the comment that I get all the time. It's like, I still want to kick my phone with my foot. I'm like, let me tell you, attaching that bag with the magnets is so satisfying. Like the second you get it, attach it, clink. It's way more satisfying than kicking your phone, risking $1,000 phone. So.
Yeah. Now the old hacky sack with the phone, not
Yeah.
not the most ideal thing to do.
I did that. I did a lot of that back in my day, but now I'm not. Phones now are ridiculous. Like $1,400.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Yeah. You're not. You really don't want to kick that or drop it or smash it. Yeah. Well, Matt, do you have any other questions here for Kyle before we wrap up here and let him go?
One of the questions I wanted to ask, I know you've been playing hockey since youth. Differences now versus then as far as your training and your split. What are you focusing more on now versus what you were focusing on then? What was more important then?
Back in the day, I played travel hockey. I played rec hockey. I was in like 3 different leagues. I was a referee. Like hockey was everything for me. And back in the day when I started working out, you're like, I want to get big, huge. I want to build muscle. And then once I started getting more and more competitive, I actually like technically dropped out of high school and I moved up north to. I lived in New Hampshire, but I played out of Boston, and I lived with a family up there, and then we had like a trainer. I played for a junior team up there, and they had a trainer, and it was more sprints and quick agility things. But we also worked on strength too. Hockey is very unique because you need the agility, but then you also need the strength too because it's a pretty aggressive sport. So we kind of focused on both of those, and then when I gave up on my dream. I went to college and just played beer league. I was always just trying to get big, trying to get big. But over the past few years, I've kind of pulled back on that. I'm like, I'm not going to get big. I was like, I'm kind of past that. I'm natural. I don't take anything. I take creatine. That's it. So I'm like, I'm not going to get massive like these guys. I kind of want to focus on, you know, becoming more lean, more cut, and focusing on more on health. So I actually started running. I just bought a new bike, so I've been biking. I want to get into swimming. Kind of like the hybrid athlete. I know it's kind of like a trend right now, like the hybrid athlete, but just kind of pushing myself, not just going in the gym, getting a 30-minute workout. It's doing the cardio, putting the work in, still lifting heavy. I mostly do push pull legs, and then those are split up into 6 different push pull legs. So like one push day is different than the other push day. So I'll do push pull, rest day, legs, rest day, push pull, and then it just repeats itself. But I've gotten into running, which I never thought I would say that. So just trying new things, really just pushing myself, trying to lift heavy, but not doing stupid stuff like I used to do back in the day. Like I don't squat anymore. I just for me, I don't think it's a good idea to load up my back, even though it's the compound lift. Like I don't squat, I don't deadlift, and I don't bench press. Like those, I don't even do the compound lifts. I stay away from those. There's so many other exercises that I could focus on that it's going to help me with longevity and then building muscle instead of loading up a whole bunch of plates and trying to break my back. You know what I mean? Even
Oh,
though it was
sure.
great back in the
Yeah.
day, I used
No,
to bench
it's
press and stuff, but the dumbbell stretches feel so much better than a stiff bar. You know what I
hey,
mean? Like I could focus more on my chest. So
you know, I hear you there. I've been there. A stiff bar serves its purpose sometimes, but
yeah, I still
terrible.
I still do it.
But the look,
Are we
look,
still talking about the gym?
yeah, that's right. Look, like what we want to talk about. When you're 44, a stiff bar, is good sometimes. But yes, dumbbell for the stretch is much better. The
Yeah,
fact is, like I'm right there with you. Your fitness has to evolve. Basically, you
yeah,
do the biceps, you're doing the chest, you're doing beach muscles, but it's not functionality, right? And you also want to be more
yeah,
mobile. If you're lifting
yeah,
500 pounds, but you can't get out of a chair, it's terrible, right? And
yeah,
especially with your energy you have, obviously you're taking care of yourself the right way. So
yeah,
yeah, you have to work out smarter. So I'm curious, because things do change, and it looks like you've done that, and that's awesome.
yeah,
But yeah, and also the stuff you see out there, you have to kind of take some of that and just make it your own. You can't just do what everyone
yeah,
else is doing.
yeah, for
That's
sure.
it's good to
And
hear, man.
I've kind of learned. I've kind of learned that I used to go to the gym for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and now like you know I've learned like I don't need to go to the gym for that long. My gym sessions are under an hour, and
Yep,
it's
it's
not
great.
like I'm not like pushing myself or anything. It's like I don't need to do 7 sets of something. I'll do a warm up set. I do 2 to 3 sets, and I don't need a. And a lot of the literature now is even saying it's like you don't want to push yourself too hard. you
Yeah.
you want
Don't
to
overtrain.
push yourself to a point, but it's like you don't have to do 15 different workouts for biceps. 3 to 4 and you're good. So
Oh, yeah. Intensity, but not crazy, and paying
yeah,
attention to what you're
for sure.
telling. Yeah, spot on, man.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
It's
man.
great,
Well,
dude.
listen. Yeah, thank you so much for coming by and chatting with us.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, excited to see as your company continues to grow. Again, everybody, magneticbagcompany.com. It's a great website. I had it pulled up. There's even a part there, happy customers. So if you don't want to just see these studio shots, which by the way, look incredible, but if you don't want to just see studio shots of this and you want to see these bags in practice, you can go right there, happy customers. You got all these great reviews as well as pictures that go along with them. So, really cool. Again, thank you so much for taking the time. Matt, any final thoughts here for Kyle?
It's been great having you. Thank you for getting back to me, and I'm glad we can make this happen. It's been an honor. Like I said, you got a groundbreaking product, and it's something that can help so many people, and it will help so many people. I just don't forget about us when you hit the big time. You're always welcome back here. The door's always open.
This is my first podcast, so
Oh wow, awesome.
There's a special place in my heart for the first.
There you go.
So hey, it's been great talking to everybody. Time she's up. I got to go train some people. I know you got things to do, sir. Go get hydrated.
Do it. We'll see you next time on another edition of Personal Training Unlocked with Matt Mangol.
Keep on lifting and hydrating.